Welcome back. The Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case may be over, but its ramifications live on. Documentary producer Rochelle Oliver from right here in South Florida aims to challenge the way people feel about stereotypes with her Hoodie campaign. And here she is to tell you all about it. Well, Rochelle, it has been years since I have seen you. I have counted the moments till we got to hang out again. It's awesome to see you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me. I love the new digs here, by the way.
Yeah,
it's
right?
Great.
It's very scenic, beautiful view.
Beautiful view of
quite
wonderful
nice.
Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you. I designed it all myself. No, I didn't. So you're doing something so cool, so interesting and important. Tell us about it, the campaign.
Yes, last year, a few friends and I got together and we started something called the Halloween Hoodie campaign. And basically, at that time, all it was a statement, a PSA that we put together, an anti-stereotype campaign to let people know, like, if you want to take a stand against stereotypes, wear a hoodie for Halloween. It sounds pretty simple. But this year, we're expanding the campaign because we had so much success last year with it that we're making it into a documentary, which
cool. Yeah.
which is really exciting.
Yeah, and so, I mean, obviously you say hoodie and then people think Trayvon Martin.
Of course.
Right, that's the correlation. So is that the genesis of this? Is that how this all began?
That is the how it all began. If you remember, around this time last year, everybody was quiet. No one was talking about Trayvon Martin. No one was talking about George Zimmerman. The media decided to not talk about it until the trials were coming up. And so there were a lot of young people who were saying, why is no one talking about this? This really matters. Something happened to someone in our community and we need to discuss it. And so we decided to use the hoodie in order to bring people together to talk about a larger issue when it comes to stereotypes and fear. And that's kind of how it just kind of snowballed from there. Well, when you speak to scientists and neuroscientists and behaviorists, what they'll tell you is that when someone is afraid of something, they will react in one or two ways. You're going to fight or flight. So we're taking this and we're examining how people would react to unfamiliar stimuli when it comes to race. So if you've never been around people with hoodies, for example, or the only exposure you've had is through the media with someone robbing a bank or someone possibly in a dangerous situation in a music video, then you might never have had a personal experience with someone in a hoodie. So your only understanding is to have a fearful foundation of that. And so when you see someone, you're not even reacting based off of what you see, based off of, it's daylight or it's a safe situation or this is a teenager.
Right, like a preconceived notion or something, right?
You have these prejudices built up that are in your brain, and because of how fear works and how fear manifests, if you're not aware of how you react or aware of how to analyze the situation, you are going to fight or you're going to flee. And the third element there is you can freeze, but that's a minority of the groups.
What was it? Freeze?
Freeze.
Yeah, just literally like freeze up.
Literally freeze up.
Yeah.
Like deer in headlights.
Wow. So what have you learned so far? I mean, as you've made this, as you've talked to people, as you've gone out and interviewed people, how much racism, I mean, it's hard to quantify, but does it still readily exist in South Florida? What have you found?
What's interesting, well, first there was this element of, I just kind of had a hunch that fear and stereotypes, there might be something there. And then after speaking to scientists and speaking to experts and realizing, wait, there really is a correlation here. And the second part is kind of connecting that to the South Florida backdrop. Some people ask me, well, does race really exist here? Racism really exists here because we are so diverse. And one of the key elements to overcoming, fear of another is exposure. But sometimes what you get here is just a more diverse range, more diverse stereotypes. In other areas of the country, you might just have a fear of people who are black or a fear of people who are white. Here, you could have a fear of people who are Cuban or people who are Jewish or, all different elements. And it just depends on, first of all, your exposure. And then second, do you have positive impact based on that exposure, or do you have a negative impact based on an exposure? And so that's kind of some of the stuff we're exploring in the documentary.
Yeah, and your enthusiasm about the documentary is like blowing me away right now. You're trying to raise money for it.
Yes,
These things cost money.
These things cost money.
Right.
We're actually trying to raise about $20,000 for the documentary, and basically what that'll do is allow us to bring in the experts and interview them all across the country And so that's travel, that's bringing the crew around, and really getting people here because we want to shoot the documentary mainly right here in South Florida.
And one of the avenues that you're pursuing is the Kickstarter campaign, right?
Yes.
And some people may not know exactly what that is, so take a minute and explain that.
Yeah, so crowdsourcing is this wonderful, creation of the internet these days, where you can ask people to expose your campaign, your idea to the world, essentially, and if they believe in it, they can back it. And so we just finished running the Kickstarter campaign, and it was extremely successful. And we're looking forward to just bringing the message to more people now.
Well, it's so great. Continued best of luck. And I think when people hear 20 grand, I think some people are like, well, that's nothing, and then some people are like, well, that's a fortune. But I don't think that's a lot of money to make a documentary, is it?
It's really, really not. I mean, documentaries usually, start out about $100,000.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, there's like one piece of equipment that we could be using that's actually costs more than $20,000. One of the great things is that a lot of people who are involved with this documentary, the making of the documentary and the campaign, they just believe in the idea of taking a stand against stereotypes. They believe that more people should be aware of not just what other people are saying about them or other groups, but also how they're reacting to other people. So they like the message, they want to get involved, and they're willing to reduce their rates drastically.
Yeah. Thank God for that, right? Yeah.
To help out. So it's been great.
What would you say is the sort of take home that you want people to, when this finally gets made, right?
Yeah.
And people watch it, what would you like to have happen, reaction wise?
Yeah. So I think the scariest thing for people when it comes to fear, right, and stereotypes is realizing a lot of times that they're a part of that problem of kind of perpetuating stereotypes. They're a part of that problem when it comes to being a part of this racism issue that we have in this country. So the first part is I want people to realize that they are able to make a difference, which means having to admit that you might be judgmental toward other groups of people and you might not be aware of it.
Right.
And then, not just leaving them down in the dumps.
Right. Wow, I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks, Rochelle.
That would be a horrible way to leave people.
Right.
But our ultimate goal is we want to eliminate racism through awareness. So once you're aware of that, you can actually stop yourself and say, wait, am I reacting based on something I saw, outside of, on TV or happening to someone else? Or, am I reacting based on the fact of the context of the situation that I'm in? And from there, they can actually kind of, intercept that brain activity and say, wait, don't react fearfully, react proactively, which means just saying hello to someone possibly.
This is great, and it's wonderful to see you, and when this gets made and you win an Oscar, you have to come back.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
You have to come back.
You said it first.
I did, and I want you to thank me in your speech when you win the Oscar. If people want to get more info, is there a website they can check out or anything?
Yes, they can go to thehoodiecampaign.com.
Okay.
And of course, you can go to Instagram, Hoodie Camp, the Hoodie Campaign on Twitter. If you Google the Hoodie Campaign or Halloween Hoodie, you'll definitely find it.
It won't be Abercrombie models wearing hoodies. It will be this.
They're real people.
Yes, real
people wearing hoodies.
What we're going to do is we're actually going to go to break, but as we do that, we're going to show the PSA.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so do you want to set it up? What are we about to see?
Well, right now you're about to see 60 seconds of riveting film work, and you're going to see about 25 people from the Wynwood district saying that. Well, I should just let them see it.
Yeah, just let them see it. Okay.
There
so
you go.
Great to see you, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, enjoy.
I'm a black man. Are you afraid of me?
Are you afraid of me now?
I'm a black man. Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of me now?
Are you afraid of me now? I'm a black man.
Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of me now?
I'm a black man. Are you afraid of me?
Are you afraid of me now?
Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of me now?
Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of me now?
I'm still a black man. Are you afraid of me now?
The Halloween Hoodie campaign forces people to answer one question. Is a black man in a hoodie really that scary? To answer this, we need people of all races, all ages, and all genders to wear a hoodie for Halloween. Take a stand against stereotypes. Support the Halloween Hoodie campaign. Wear a hoodie for Halloween.